guys, I'm back. Yes, welcome to another episode of the Corner Store Podcast. I am your host, E.L. Smith. We are back, people. We are back. If you're watching the video, if I made a video of this, who knows if this is going to be audio or just video. But if I made a video of this, my name is not Carlos. I know it's a jacket on that says Carlos. I don't know where I got this jacket from. Probably somebody named Carlos. Who knows? But I just wanted to jump on the mic, man. Let's talk about it. What's the guy's name? Jason Whitlock. Ugh. Ugh. Did you see the thing that Stephen A. Smith, if you don't know who Stephen A. Smith, he talks loud. He works for ESPN. He's on First Take and some other shows on ESPN that talks about sports and things like that. But he has his own podcast. And he took the time out to talk about Jason Whitlock. And if you know who Jason Whitlock is, he's a guy who used to be on ESPN, chubby fellow, black guy. I can remember the LaMelo Ball's dad. LeVar Ball? Whatever that guy name is instead. It's a funny thing out there that you guys need to look up. He was doing an interview one time on ESPN. And the guy mentioned the guy, Jason Whitlock. And he was like, that guy, only thing he needs to worry about is snacks. It's funny. It was a funny comeback. So, you ever talk to people or know people that their character just rubs you the wrong way? In my opinion, that's Jason Whitlock. It seems like he does things, and he's that type of person that is not cool to be around. A person that's all about themselves and that will say and do anything for the preservation or to build up themselves. That's probably why he's not with ESPN anymore. So which he holds a bitter grudge against ESPN. I happened to look at this man's some of his social media things that he posts, and one thing that he posts, a montage of commentators that work for ESPN crying. He didn't say why they were crying, but they were talking on the air about something, and they were crying as they talked about this thing. And he tried to make it seem like it was a bad thing that men were crying. I know there's a whole stigma. Men are supposed to be strong and not cry and things like that, and I get that. But my guy, everybody cries. Everybody has cried before. And there's things out here right now that if they happen to you, you would cry. No matter if you're a man, woman, child. So you trying to down someone for crying? If a man wants to cry on TV, I commend him. Because it is a stigma that men shouldn't cry. And men shouldn't be this. And if you hear the music, I apologize. It's like a club below this podcast studio that I'm doing it in. But I look at it like that's just good theme music in the back for a good YouTube video. So don't even worry about the music. But men cry. Men cry. So this guy, Jason Whitlock, like I say, he's not a good person. He's not a good person. So he's not even on regular sports stations. He's on something called Blaze TV. Or whatever that is. And Stephen A. Smith, like I said, went off on this guy. You got to find the video. I'll post a link to it when I post this on YouTube. But he literally got on his own podcast, independent of ESPN, and cursed, called this man a fat bastard, everything that you can think of, and talked about how shady he is and how of not a good person he is. And I did some more searching and seeing. Other people say the same thing about him. It was an interview a while ago too with Allen Iverson, and they were sitting Allen Iverson down, and they were saying, "Okay, we had this commentator. They said this and that about you." He's like, "I already know who it is." And he mentioned that guy, Jason Whitlock. I don't know. Some people you could just feel their energy and their character, and this guy's not a good person. He's on that whole I'll say whatever I need to say for certain people to say, hey, look at this black man liking this. See, I knew I was right. You know those type of people. Candace Owens. I really don't speak her name. It's like Voldemort because that's what she wants. These type of people, that's what they want. They want you to say their name. They want to have the publicity. They want the notoriety. Any publicity is good publicity in their market because it all equals to likes, views, shares. Even if you disagree with this person, they want that. They want that interaction because the more likes, follows, comments, shares you get, the more people are looking at your page and your content, the more advertising is going to that algorithm on your page. At the end of the day, it all equals to dollars, right? It all equals to dollars because if somebody puts up something, if they believe it or not, if it gets 1 million views, the advertising is going to go before it, in the middle of it, behind it, and now their pages are getting shared, even if you don't disagree with it. So I would tell you this: don't support those type of people. And what I mean by that, I know I'm doing this podcast and you're gonna go look it up. So I guess I'm following that same boat. But I don't really speak on those type of people. Those people, they want that type of attention. So for Stephen A. Smith to get on his podcast and go off on them, I kind of understand. But then also, you have to take a step back, I think, and think to yourself, you're here, and that guy is like down here. He's trying to bring you down so he can come up. It's a classic play. He's trying to bring you down so he can come up. So he can come up. So he can get people talking about him, which I'm doing, which, that's what he wants. So if I was Stephen A. Smith, as hard as it would be, and I know it was hard for him because he even said it. He said, man, I have not talking about this guy. I have not said his name. I have went about my business for far too long. But he just kept poking the bear. So it's hard. It's hard, but sometimes you gotta just know when to be like, man, see what people want, see what people are trying to do and get out of you, and don't respond. Or figure out a better way. Me personally, what I would have did, so I wouldn't even responded. Or I would have responded with something that he wouldn't have been expecting. See, he was expecting, I think, Stephen A. Smith to be mad, upset, and to tell him off, which he did. I wouldn't have did any of that. I would have did something totally opposite. I would have laughed at this guy. I would have smiled. I would have treated him like just a little child, baby. Like, I shouldn't be bothered to worry about this. It's cute what you're trying to do, what you're doing over there. You say I didn't write my book? Okay. That's your opinion. You can keep it. Like, I would have gave him not what he was expecting. And I would have left it at that. Now, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I am. What else I would have done is that I would have just stored it in the back of my head and I would have went about my life. But I would have knew one day, our paths will cross. If you're talking about sports, I'm talking about sports. You're going in this function, I'm going in this function. It's going to cross. Our paths will cross. And when they do, boy, oh boy, oh boy, I look forward to the day. I look forward to the day. What am I going to do? You have to go and see. You find out. I wouldn't even broadcast or even speak about it. But I would put myself in a position to not get in trouble. I would say that. I would let him throw the first punch, hit, whatever. Assault, whatever you want to call it. Because you know what? You can go ahead. Everybody has a plan until they get hit or punched in the face. So go ahead. All your might. I would have called him out in front of everyone if I ever saw him in person. If I was Stephen A. Smith, I would have put him on the spot in front of everyone and then dared him to do anything about it if I was Stephen A. Smith. That's what I would have did. But to each his own. It seems like 2024, everybody's getting called out on things. This podcast is going up a little bit too late to even reference the whole Cat Williams thing, but that thing was crazy. That thing was crazy. Crazy. My thing is this. Why are you talking about people? Like, if it's true or not true, it's like you have your money, you're making your money, you're doing your thing. Bro, don't be concerned with what they're doing. I mean, I'm sure you got slighted. by some of these people before, but hey, you're a success. You're doing your thing. And from judging by the response, people look like they rock with you more so than some of the people you were talking about. So if they're not even on your level, as you say, why do you even mention it or mention them? It doesn't help. Well, I mean, it helps Shannon Sharp. Definitely helped this podcast and his views. Not saying he needed help, but it definitely was a boost. Dang, I wish I was talking to Cat Williams right now. but, but it was definitely a boost to him. So, I mean, I can't really complain on that. But again, back to the whole Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlock. The guy's a terrible human being. And you're going to meet terrible human beings in your life. They're like vultures, hyenas. They just straggle behind trying to pick up what you already done. You're a lion. Know their play and cut them off at the pass. That's what I would say. That's what I would say to Stephen A. Smith if I spoke to Stephen A. Smith. I'm not saying I'm a Stephen A. Smith fan or anything like that, but you can definitely tell when people are vultures. It's some people you don't like and don't like, and that's for your own reasons. Like, I don't like that guy. I don't like his opinion on this. I don't like his views on that or whatever. That's natural, to dislike someone in that aspect. But then there's some people out here that they're just saying things so they know they can receive a check because of what they said. It's not necessarily if they believe it or not. They're just spewing division, hatefulness, and backstabbies type stuff just because they know they can get certain people to latch on to that, view that, share that, and they can collect the check. People like Jason Whitlock, people like Candace Owens, these type of people, they don't necessarily believe the stuff that they say. You can look at them and tell. If you look in their eyes, if you look at them as they're saying these things, they don't necessarily believe it. They know the reaction that they get by saying certain things. Right? I could have started this podcast. I could create this podcast, and I can go a different route than what I think or my opinion. I can go a route that I know it will pick up a lot of views or pick up more views or people, hey, that guy looks like that and he's saying this about that. I'm going to latch on to that because it kind of reinforce certain people's belief in things. And they know that. They're not dumb. Far from it. They know what they're doing. And if you look into their eyes as they're doing it, you can tell. And those type of people are fake. Fake, phony people. I don't want fake, phony people around me. That's one thing I don't like. I don't like fake, phony people. I tell people all the time, I don't have a problem with people who are people who like drive the truck with the Let's Go Brandon or, lock her up or all these type of crazy things. But I don't have a problem with those type of people. Oh, who have the flag, the with the blue line, Black lives don't matter. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. You know I don't have a problem with these people per se because they let me know exactly who they are. They're letting you know exactly who they are. So I know how to deal with this person accordingly. I know, no, you're not. I'm not letting you in. Traffic, get behind me. Let's go, Brandon. I know who this person is. I know what he believes and I know what he thinks of me. So I would deal with that person according to who he is. What I can't stand is the fake phony people. The people who are like, oh, all right, Duran, I see your application. I'm not going to hire you because of your name. But I'm going to smile in your face. I'm going to smile. I hate the people who smile in your face, but they have a knife behind their back. Those are the people I dislike. Because they don't even have enough courage to stand on who they are or what they believe. They don't even have enough courage, enough cojones to do that. These same type of people who post comments on social media but don't even have a profile picture. They have a picture of a cat Or they don't. Better yet, they don't have a picture at all. They just have the blank user photo thing. And they're posting this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate you, or they'll say something this or that, or say something racist or derogatory, and they don't even have enough courage to stand by what they said. They're just putting stuff out there. Those type of people, like, I look at them and I laugh because you don't even know me half the time, or you don't even know the person that you're responding to in such a negative way, and you don't even have enough courage. You're not real because you don't even have enough courage to even stand and show your face about the comments you make. Everything I post or I'll post online, you can see my face. I'm standing by what I said, like it or not. I respect people who stand by what they say. So those people are the same type of people in my book. These fake, phony people, these people who hide behind things, they're not good people. Jason Whitlock, not a good person. I want to meet him one day because I'll tell him to his face he's not a good person. And he'd be like, who are you? And I'll be like, I am E.L. Mother Smith. That's what I would tell him. Anyway, that is just my 2 cents, guys. I just want to put that podcast out there, let you guys know. There's going to be more episodes. This is the Corner Store Podcast. I am your host, E.L. Smith, and we're going to go from there and play it out, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And until next time, peace.